So today's session is open. We've opened it up to all the ERP solutions that we support here at AlphaBiz, because this program that we're going to go through today is called AlphaPOD, which is actually being developed by our in-house development team here at AlphaBiz. So it's not specifically to one ERP solution that we support, and we do support Sybiz as an ERP, and we also support MYOB and MYOB Acumatica. So today's session isn't designated to one ERP solution. But we'll go through some of the slides just to set the precedent for today and what we're going to go through. So these monthly sessions that we host here at AlphaBiz, we host them on a monthly basis, and they are all about how do we help you unlock the power of your ERP, whether it be Sybiz, Acumatica, or EXO. So it's all around how do we get more out of the current solution, improve processes, and automate and streamline things. So at core, all of our clients are using a type of an ERP solution for, production, field services, managing the finances, can also be the people side of things. And typically, there may be certain things in the ERP solution that may not cater for all your business needs. And that's where the list of ISVs or independent software vendors that I've got listed on the screen here can help extend and improve and streamline those business processes in your business. So this just sort of highlights some of the independent software vendors out there, and we have been working with our software development team to create our own solutions where we see gaps in the market. So today is all about AlphaPOD, but we will sort of talk about how AlphaLink is a middleware component, helps us extend out to other third-party applications as well. But there is a list of other ISVs, Trailed, ProSpan, WageLock, and a lot of these guys are very focused in their niche part of the market and can help extend, as I say, extend the ERP solution for our clients. So today I'm your host. So my name's Adam Buswell. If I haven't met you guys, I look after our support team and also our existing clients here at AlphaBiz. And then today, my co-host that's going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting and showing you guys through AlphaPOD is Geoff, who's one of our senior software developers here at AlphaBiz. So thanks, Geoff, for taking your time to help out and show AlphaPOD.
Thanks, Adam.
Cool. So what are we going to be talking about today? So why does proof of delivery matter? For a lot of our organisations that are out there, there's common challenges in the logistics and supply chain for their business. So around, even we've had some clients come to us that are having issues with, goods leaving their premise and then arriving to the end user or the end customer damaged. Things going missing and then having to find that paper trail of where are the goods gone. So with the proof of delivery, with the common issues that we have with our clients is that, really just keeping track of information about, goods leaving the premise, whether that be through your own logistics or through third-party logistics. We've got clients that are using our AlphaPOD solution even for couriers coming in and picking up goods and taking those and being able to prove that it's been picked up. When it left the premise, it was in good shape or in the shape that it was intended to be delivered. So we've, that's the sort of things that we're going to go through today. Obviously, with paper-based systems, there's a lot of limitations. That paper is either sitting with the driver. It's not, it's manual. It then has to be stored and documented somewhere or stored somewhere in your cabinets. Whereas with this, it's all of a complete paperless process that we're going to go through today. But also, it's about that, from a compliance perspective or quality assurance perspective, is having that real-time visibility of when it's been delivered, how it was delivered, and being able to make sure that it is in good shape from the customer's point of view. So what is AlphaPOD? So AlphaPOD is a proof of delivery system, and it also helps with organising the the run sheets as well. So for if you do have your own logistics and you're having to manage and maintain, which drivers are collecting what and where they're delivering it, AlphaPOD can also help, manage that manifest of deliveries, and then obviously, get it out to the drivers for them to do the deliveries. Why did we develop it? So there obviously is a lot of solutions in market that are already out there, but a lot of them were really, really complicated, had lots of features that maybe some of our customers weren't looking for. They were looking for more of a basic cut down version. And that's why AlphaBiz decided that it was, for our client base that were looking for these sort of solutions, it was worthwhile for us to develop it. We've got a lot of clients that are, as I say, using it for even just, they just use third-party logistics when it comes to deliveries, but they also want to be able to keep track of the information as it's collected from their warehouse and shipped to their clients, and be able to keep track of things like making sure that it is, well packaged and that there's no damage and all that sort of stuff. We've designed it to be to streamline the processes, the delivery side of things. So it's one thing that we've been working on, and is making it easy and for our clients. So just a little bit. So what we're going to go through today is Geoff's going to show us through. He's going to show us how the system will push the data from the ERP. We are going to be demonstrating today just quickly on the ERP on MYOB Acumatica and how we can push shipments across to the AlphaPOD. But and that'll just be a short demonstration. But we've got clients that it might have data being shipped from the sales order perspective. So then once the sales order's been processed, it will then move that into the into shipments or into the AlphaPOD, or we've even got shipments. So there's many ways that we can get the data from Sybiz or MYOB Acumatica into the AlphaPOD admin center for you to then start organizing your shipments. So there's many different ways that we can do that. Don't get hung up on that we're using that it's only working for the sales order screen. We can do it from the shipments. We can do it from other business processes within ERPs as well. We've got some clients that work in the field services side of things, so we can get it from, from service orders. So there's no drama from that perspective, from it working in a certain way. And that's probably why we did also develop AlphaPOD, is because there is lots of systems. There is other proof of delivery systems out there, but they will only sort of work from a specific process within the ERP solution. So with ours, it's quite flexible. We can configure it to different aspects or different milestones within the order processing side of things. But it'll push through to the AlphaPOD admin center, and then we host the service in the cloud. And once it's all been assigned to the drivers and pushed, it will then push out to the mobile devices. So it is mobile friendly, and we'll demonstrate that shortly as well. So as I say, there's a couple of things that we will be showing. We will show, obviously, as a sales order being processed in the MYOB Acumatica, but as I say before, it's no different whether it's Sybiz or EXO. We can configure it to different aspects in that as well. But this is the AlphaPOD admin, and this is one screen that we'll go through in a little bit of detail and show you how the information flows from the ERP into the AlphaPOD admin. And this is the area where, say, your warehouse manager, your delivery manager, they would work in this space to assign and allot who's going to be doing the deliveries. Or if it's going to be third-party logistics, we can set up different profiles in the system so that you can actually assign from there. And then on the mobile device, we'll go through one of the screens where we'll show the driver what's up and coming in their list of deliveries for the day. And then obviously it'll have, the next screen is obviously what's to be delivered and who it's to be delivered to on that screen there. And then you're able to take, digital signatures. We've even built in, things like, being able to take a photo before, it's pushed back through to the ERP. And all this information, we're purposely storing it in the AlphaPOD admin center, so that from a reporting perspective, if you need to go and find that information, It's stored in the admin center as well. But because we've developed and own this software, we can push it back through to the ERP or other data storage locations as well for keeping records. So I'm going to hand over to Geoff now, and he's going to give you the live demonstration. I just wanted to give you a brief sort of overview of how the application, what we're going to be demonstrating, so that no one gets lost. But we can make, this is an interactive session, so we can I'll go through and make people able to come off mute. So if you've got any questions or queries, please, by all means, jump in and ask questions. It makes it more interactive for these sessions. So, I'll work my way through the list of people and make them, give them the ability to come off mute and ask questions. But if you want to put questions in the chat, or there is a Q&A section in the Teams chat as well. So please, by all means, interact with us and get involved. So Geoff, I'll hand over to you. I'll stop presenting now.
Okay, thanks, Adam. I'll just share screen. Okay, so what I've got up on the screen here is I've got my Acumatica pulled up, and I've opened up to the sales orders section of that. Now, as Adam has already mentioned, don't get too hung up on that. If this doesn't suit your workflow, we can customize that to pick up from other, from shipments or invoices or other areas in the system and other ERPs. But the workflow I'm going to be demonstrating to you today is a workflow where a sales order gets created in the system. When the sales order gets put on hold, that's sort of an indication, okay, this is now ready to be processed, and that gets pushed across to the AlphaPOD, and then we can assign that to a driver or a delivery run, or there's a few ways we can configure that. Then once that gets signed for by the customer.
Geoff, are you sharing your screen?
I believe I am. Yeah, it says I am. Can we see the screen? Sorry.
Shadi, can you see the screen? Or
I can see the screen. Yeah.
Okay, cool. It must be just me. Sorry.
As can I.
Okay, good. Okay, but we had a technical difficulty there, but no, looks okay. Yeah. So the workflow here will be once that delivery gets signed for by the customer, that will then push back to AlphaPOD, and then we can then trigger that to sync back to MYOB, and in this case, it will create an invoice for that. So it'll complete the sales order and create an invoice. Now, this is one particular workflow which a couple of customers have wanted us to set up, but yeah, as we've said, there's other workflows that we've set up as well that work from shipments or from invoices, so we can tailor that as needed. So what I'll just quickly show you, this is I've got open in another tab. This is the pod admin app. So what that and it just you'll see the little spinny thing. It will periodically just check for new sales orders. I did add a one in this morning, which you can see there. But what I'll do is I'll just quickly jump in here. I won't take too long, but I'll just quickly add a new sales order in. Randomly pick one will do. Then I'll add items. Just find something that has stock, that has plenty. So I might, I need to give that $1 value. And I might say we're gonna put 2 of those on there. So I'll save that. So the idea is here we can be adding sales orders in and so on, but the way this particular workflow is set up, once I put the sales order on hold, that's an indication that, okay, I'm not going to edit this anymore. And that will then trigger the system to pick up that sales order and move it over to pod admin. Now we're running in the background, so this is running in the cloud as a separate system altogether. We have our AlphaLink software running, which we can configure the workflow for pulling items across. I'm not sure why that's, oh, there we go. Yeah, it's taking a while to sync. So I can actually view that now. You can see that I've got 2 of those items on there, and this will then show us the signature and so on once. Now I will just point out quickly there, we can do things like sync the notes across. So if we put notes on the sales order, that can be synced across. We can configure other things like, so I think everything's running a bit slow because I'm sharing video. I'll just stop my camera. Bear with me. So now I've got an emulator running here that so this is emulating an Android mobile device. So this will periodically sync and pull orders across. Now, within, as Adam mentioned, within Pod Admin, we can actually now start assigning these sales orders as deliveries to drivers. So on my edit delivery runs tab here, what I can do is it can pull up unallocated. So if I look at ones that don't have anyone there at the moment, you can see that I've already assigned this particular one to driver 1. But if I'm wanting to, I can do multiple at once, but I can say, okay, I want to select driver 1. And what I've done is I've set up my mobile device to say that I'm driver 1. Now it could be delivery runs. You might have say an AM and a PM delivery run for North, or it could be, so don't get hung up on the terminology. That's all fully customizable. But what I can do now is I now have 2 assigned. I go send to device, and that will then trigger the deliveries to get pushed across to the device. Now, once I head out on the road, this app has quite a few customizable features as well. One that I've got switched on at the moment is the ability for the driver to notify the customer. So, one thing I will just point out here is I can drag and drop and change the order of items. I can reassign to different drivers. I've just set up a very basic setup at the moment, but so it does give you quite a bit of flexibility to sort by things. I can say that I need to, I just refresh that. I can resort my deliveries by postcode or by customer or by shipment number. So there's quite a bit of flexibility on determining the order that the shipments are going to be delivered, as well as manual reordering. But once that gets sent to the device, it will pick up the same order on the device as has been assigned here. So you can basically set up a delivery run that will deliver in the right order. So in this example, I'm going to notify the customer and just go, yep. So what that will actually do in the background, it will flag that delivery that, hey, this is on the way. And in this particular configuration, we have that set up to send an email to the customer. So I've just got my eye on the other screen here, which I'll just check that in a few minutes. That should come through. Anyway, that's the way that works. But basically, as the driver goes through, they can click on the delivery to open it. There are a few options here. Now we can, if we were collecting, like if a third party courier is picking up, we can record consignment note number. We can do things like make notes. The driver can take notes on the device if they needed to. You can see here that it shows you what items are on this delivery. The other thing we can do is we can, now it will look a bit funny because I'm running on an emulator, it doesn't actually have a camera, but I can actually record images of where I've left an item or the condition of an item once it was picked up and so on, and save them with the delivery. I can take multiple ones of those, but then once the item is being delivered, I can doing a mouse on the screen is a bit odd, but we can do a sign that, but obviously on a device that's easier. Now I'll just point out too, some of our clients use tablet devices for this, not just handheld like phones size devices. So that's also a possibility, and they use sometimes you'll see there's the stylus type thing, so it makes taking signatures a bit easier. But you'll see now that that's been received. So you'll see that on my delivered list that item is there, and you can see that the signature is there for that. And I can look at my upcoming list, and you can see that we've got another one there. I could notify that customer. Oh, sorry, I'll just quickly show here that we have once again fully configurable, but we just have a notification for AC equipment to tell them that that their delivery is on the way. So if I go back now to my list of deliveries, you'll see that this one for AC equipment now has been signed by Geoff, and the status is signed. And if I open that up now, you can see that there's the signature I took, and here's the images, or one image in this case that I took with the device. There are other features that we have. Now, I don't have this switched on the device at the moment, but we do have for example, situations where you might need to say collect pallets when you go to site or something like that. So you can do things like, if I had that set up, I could add pallets there, and then that would then credit that back in the system. But I'm happy with this, so I'm going to say I want to sync this back to MYOB, so I'll trigger that, and that will then flag back to the ERP system that this delivery is completed. Now, once again, I'll point out there that's customizable. We have some customers where they don't want to have that manual step, and they're not doing things like collecting pallets and so on, but that workflow is fully customizable. You'll see now that there's an invoice number has popped up here. So if I jump back over I'll just refresh this, but if I jump back over and have a look in MYOB now, you'll see that sales order is now completed. And if I open that up and have a look at the shipments tab, you'll see that it's created a shipment and has created a sales invoice for that customer. So that's sort of this particular workflow has been set up. But as we've said, that this is fully customizable and can be configured to work the way you need. One thing I'll just quickly show too, if I wanted to, so you can do all sorts of things. So here, if I wanted to just look at, say, AC equipment, I can do that, and I'm wanting to go, you know what, I want to do a little report for just these guys. I can tick the deliveries that they've received, and it will generate just a proof of delivery report that shows who signed and when it was signed and so on, just to something that could be then sent as a PDF, as an attachment, or emailed through. Yeah, so that's a very high level overview. There's, as Adam said, and I've kind of highlighted, there are lots of different configurable features that can be added with this. Something's not happy. We can set up pallets that would be synced through, and we don't have any there at the moment in this particular setup. But yeah, we can configure it to work as the way you need, whether it be for someone signing when they collect something in your premises, or taking out on a mobile device and having that sync through. So that's probably it from me. So I might hand back to you, Adam, or if anyone has any questions, then please feel free to ask, and I'll answer if I can.
Cool, thanks, Geoff. Yeah, I mean, it is a simple application that we've obviously created, and we've got a fair few clients using it now. So it's and there's been different business scenarios that we've had to create for clients around, as say Geoff was saying, we've got one client, they do deliver, but then they collect pellets, and then the driver will select how many pellets are picked up, and then that not only does it do the invoicing for what's been delivered, but it also then puts creates a credit note against the client for the pellets that have been retrieved. So we've worked with different scenarios and working on that. So yeah, it's quite flexible. Does anyone have any questions or queries, or wanted to see just step back through anything on the demo that might be pertinent to them? You can come off mute. No.
That means Geoff done a great job with the presentation.
Or I bamboozled people and they didn't understand. Hopefully not the latter.
No, look, I think the main thing, and Geoff, you've highlighted the customization capabilities, and Adam's also mentioned that the difference between this solution and what you get off the shelf is that every client that we've presented or needs a proof of delivery solution has something very unique which cannot be achieved with other products. Normally they have one point of entry, how it flows. Yes, it's got a lot of functionalities like route optimization, which we don't need here in WA or in Australia. Whoops.
Sorry. You there, Shadi? Oh. Yeah, so I'll try and finish what Shadi was going to say, but yeah, we've had a lot of clients. We had a lot of clients that have looked at off-the-shelf products that are out in market. They've either seen it to be too complicated, or that there's a lot of cost involved in getting it up and running. It doesn't necessarily talk to their current ERP, whether it be MYOB, Acumatica, or Exo, or Sybiz. So then there has to be some intervention with us integrating it anyway. So this is where we started seeing that a lot of our clients were just asking for some really basic functionality of being able to organize our deliveries from our ERP solution, be able to manipulate them, put them in a certain order, and organize them, assign them to the specific drivers, or assign them to the third-party logistics that's coming to collect, and then go about running those deliveries through a mobile application. So that's where we thought, okay, well, based on this, let's work at getting our own software. We've already got the middleware component, AlphaLink, configured to a lot of these areas in the software through the API. So it's just that front end, that UI and mobile application that we had to develop and help you out in that respect. So that's where we come across this, and a lot, as much as it is basic, we can configure it to different workflows. We've had some clients that are now working in the drop shipment space, and needed to be able to they get an order from they're a wholesale business. They get an order from their supplier, their end customer, and so they've been needed to be able to do things like notify customers that the shipment is being packaged up and that the shipment's coming today, and so on. So there's been different milestones or workflows that we've had to configure to this. So, if there's something that you haven't seen today and you go, yeah, okay, look, the basis of what's there is what we probably need, good, come to us. And then if there's specifics that we need to look at, how we configure that for you, we can do that in the software as well.
Sorry, Adam, just noticed Andrew has a question there, just about getting a copy of the POD emailed from the device, yeah, that definitely can be set up. So usually, the one I demonstrated there, it sort of notifies when the driver triggers it. But one workflow definitely is that once that gets signed, it can then trigger an email. So it will fire off a. Actually, the way that works is once it gets signed, it syncs back to the sort of central pod admin system, but that triggers an email to the customer with the proof of delivery information attached. So that's definitely a workflow we can set up.
Any other questions? I did.
And another one. I'll just I forgot to mention too is SMS. We can trigger an SMS to the customer to notify them and so on. That's another option that we've set up previously.
Yeah, I think that's the recent one that we've done for the drop shipment client is working in the drop shipment space. Is that obviously it's actually a bed supplier, so they manufacture the beds, and so they're going to straight from the bed shed store to the manufacturer, they can do the drop shipment from there. And so once it's been, they've got a process in their warehouse. Once it's in the manufacturing process, that once it's at a stage where it's getting bagged up, and that's when it's going to be ready for release for delivery the next day. And so we're working with that so that when it's in the bagging process of the manufacturing step, that we send a text message to the end consumer to say, by the way, your shipment for your bed is due tomorrow. And then once it's on the truck, once it's organised on the delivery run, they're then getting a text message to say, hey, your shipment's on its way. Any questions at all? Any further questions or any clarification? No? Look, if this is if this is something that's of interest to your business, I think we've got a few clients on there here that may not be using either of the ERP solutions that we support at the moment. But if there is other ERP solutions or other business systems that you're using at the moment that you need help with, we could reach out. You can reach out to us still, and we can help configure AlphaPOD to those as well. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Anything else you want to add, Shadi? Or
no, sorry, I just said no. I'm all good. Just in case say too much, I might cut off again.
Okay. All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Well, look. Yeah, if anyone needs to talk to me, reach out to us here at AlphaBiz, and I'm happy to walk you through and work on specifically your needs. So I'll give everyone. We've got about 7 minutes left. 7 minutes left, so I'll give you 7 minutes of your day back.
Thanks, Adam.
Cool.
Thanks, Geoff.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Thanks, guys. See you later.